Everyone, Brian from WorkshopAddict.com, and today we're going to look at Milwaukee's M18 Quick-Lok power head system. There are 1,000 ways to buy this system, but we got it in a kit with the power head, a 9.0 amp hour battery, and the string trimmer kit. It's model number 2825-21ST. Now you notice we also have the Hedge trimmer, the lawn edger, and the pole saw here, all different model numbers. Let's just put a bunch of model numbers down in the description so we don't have to go through this mess. Now, this is coming from a guy who's tested out the Ego stuff, same power head, but my main go-to used to be the Steel, the 130R. I had the combi system. Awesome, loved it. And that's the way I kind of try to compare all this battery system stuff to, is it keeping up with the gas? And if you don't believe that some of this battery stuff can keep up with the gas, you're wrong. It can, and it will. Now there's a major difference that we need to look at here before we dive into this. When you start to use a battery operated system that has some sort of a quick lock and all these different attachments, you hear a lot of different noises. You hear noises of maybe the small shaft inside the larger tube here. You hear the noises of any of the gearing or the pull saw. There's no gas motor covering all that up. So, and these systems are getting quieter and quieter. You're gonna hear a lot of that throughout all this, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually normal. You hear the same thing on the Ego. This unit is a little bit more quiet than what the Ego was, so you might hear it. So if you first pick this up and you're like, wow, I hear a lot of noises, that's normal. It's just because you don't have the motor covering all that up. So let's dive into this. First, the power head has a different trigger on it than what the first string trimmer came out with. First, it's a safety, very nice, just push forward. But then this trigger ramps up this motor to full speed in about 1 second, which is very quick. What that has done, and Milwaukee's trying to make this more like gas, more for a contractor, someone who's switching over who says, hey, I want that power. But what this has done is made the variable speed trigger a little bit more sensitive. So when you first hit the trigger and you want to keep this, anything, I guess mostly the string trimmer, going fairly slow, you're riding that edge of on and off. So it might feel like if you're going slow, you're getting a cutout. But the reality is your finger just let off that trigger just enough to turn the motor off, and then you're back on it. It's awkward, but I guess I was working around a lot of fences with this string trimmer, so that happened to me. And this is one of the first units I can say I've used on low and enjoyed it on low. You have a lot of power to use with this string trimmer. So when you pull this string trimmer out of the box and you're assembling it, it's very simple. But what I need you to do is make sure that you take this line cutter that's down here, turn it around. Ours shipped in the 14-inch line swath. Move it around. If you flip it around, you'll get the 16-inch cutting swath. Very important because you have the power to run all of this and more. That's the first thing I would suggest. Second, this comes with 0.08 twisted line. It's worked great, no issues. You can go up to a 0.095 line. That's the max, they say. It will hold 20 feet of 0.095, 25 feet of 0.080 line. That's quite a bit. It does have a head that is manually loaded. Very simple. You just line up the red lines, push your line through, and then you can twist it and it will automatically spool everything. So this is very simple to load the line when you need to again. The line that came with it changed from the last string trimmer line, and I'm gonna call this pretty decent line. So that's a plus. Running this on low, 0 to 4,900 RPM, on high, 0 to 6,200 RPM. Now, if you remember, I told you this is the first unit I was really comfortable running on low. There's not a huge difference in the RPM there. And that's why I think I could run this on low. Coupled with the fact that I was trying to be very careful around a fence that was there, because we normally do all our trimming around that fence with Roundup. I'm just knocking it down for the first of the year and then gonna come over and spray it. That was awesome to have the power and enough speed in low to be happy. Not the case that I found with the Ego system or even the other battery operated steel, I always wanted high. There was really no sense for the low. If you get out and you're cutting a large area of grass, it was really nice to click it on high and just let this guy eat. And I'll tell you what, it did, and it did a great job. The string trimmer guard on here is not too big and it's not too small. So it protects you a little bit behind it, but yet allows you to get in and around different things. Now it's early in Michigan, so I didn't have the opportunity to really get out and push this guy. But we will, and we're going to continue to update you on this. The string trimmer and the power head, great buy. If you're going to go out and just buy a string trimmer and you're looking at the two and saying, what do I buy? Get the Quik-Lok. You're going to enjoy every bit of this, and it's going to give you options in the future, even if you don't take advantage of them right now. Now the edger attachment. This thing is cool, but what you need to do, read the instructions. They recommend that you run this on high. I ran it both high and low just to check it out. The performance is there both places. There's a noticeable speed difference. You have an 8-inch blade with 0 to 3,900 RPM. They don't give you the RPM on low. I think it's for the motor's sake that you're running it on high. I'm edging our lawn in different places. Now, one of the places before the people before us added some sod over top of dead grass. They raised up way too high the grade, so I'm cutting a whole ton off the curb. I was able to get this unit to cut out, and I could heat up the 9.0 amp hour battery doing it. I could not get some of the other units in the battery powered world to actually edge this. So this is the first unit that I got all the way down, got it to a point where I heated it up enough that I could continue to get it to lock out. But that is 2 to 3 times better than what I've done with some of the other battery powered units. Plus, I could go and string trim after it on the same battery and have no issues with runtime. So I couldn't do that with the other units. I drained the battery completely, edging what I did. So kudos there for what Milwaukee has done, giving you enough power to just tear through with an edger and enough runtime to continue and use it throughout the rest of your yard. Big, big improvement over some of the others. The edger has a depth control by just unscrewing the knob around the tire, moving it up and down. The realistic part of this, an edger is kind of an edger to a point. You know, it's got a replaceable blade. They're all almost the same, but what I really enjoyed about this was the guards underneath, so you weren't dragging the gearbox on the ground. I've seen some that didn't have that guard. And the fact that it really worked, and it had the power literally of gas, but it had a little bit more torque than I'm used to, which is probably from the brushless motor that's in here. For your average homeowner or contractor, you're going to be more than thrilled with how this edger works, because 99% of you will not be using it to edge in the situation that I was. You'll have normal edging like we do on the rest of the yard that we just redid, and it works perfectly. Up next, we had the 10-inch pole saw. This unit too is said to be recommended to be run on high. So they only give us an RPM of high, which is 0 to 4,600. It uses a 3/8 chain that is 0.043 gauge. So a pretty standard chain for a pole saw. You do have a 49-inch reach here for an attachment, and you can get an extension. That extension, I believe, is about 3 feet. Gosh, this thing worked great. This is one of the attachments that you seem to hear a little bit more with what's going on at the end. You get a little bit of vibration, which is very, very, very normal. And all you have to do is supply some bar and chain oil here. You can easily tighten the chain, change the chain, do anything. I didn't have anything to cut super high, so what I just tried to find is what I needed to trim up that was a little bit larger. Just started to go through some of these trees. This thing, the design of it, allows you to get into some of the areas a little bit easier, but also allows you just to push through and do some serious cutting fairly quickly. Now, watch that button that you don't push the high and low button that's just in front, because there is a significant difference here in cutting speed, although not power, when you switch from high to low. Zero issues with this guy, and absolutely loved the performance. We continued to push and push with this, and there was no sign of a cutout, a battery that was heating up, or anything like that. I think you could cut for a very, very long time. Milwaukee's claiming 150 cuts. I don't know what that's through, but I can tell you that we did not do anywhere near 150 cuts, and I had all the battery left. I trimmed up 7 or 8 trees and cut down a few real small ones. Great battery life on this, and I'm really surprised what you can do with 18 volts. In fact, everybody comments, and we just had a guy comment on a blower video and said, hey, we can't wait till we get a 100-volt blower. Guys, they're doing some pretty crazy stuff with 18 volts, and it's not all voltage. So think about that when you're looking at some of these string trimmers. Speaking of blowers, Stihl has a blower that they put on the end of their multi-head or their combi system. This would be awesome with a blower attachment on the end. At this point in time, I do not believe that they make one. I hope they do, because that allows you to get that blower closer to the ground. It allows for a lot of air to be moved through there, and that blower is awesome. So we're gonna get a Stihl combi system this, I think this summer. So hopefully that one comes with it, and we'll get to show you it. The next one that we have here is the Hedge trimmer. Don't have anything to cut right now. It's the wrong time in Michigan for this to come out. Everything was trimmed up in the fall. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to go through, but then we'll actually go through this in our follow-up videos. This Hedge trimmer is very well thought out. First, you can cut up to 1 inch with it. So it's very nice as far as the size. Normally the UL listing stops everybody at 3/4 of an inch. So it must be because it's farther away from your hand that it will allow you, the UL will allow you to get a little bit bigger cut. Everything here looks awesome. I cannot say the performance wise and how it is yet, but it does move. So you have a little lock here, and you can turn it, lock it in place in multiple different positions. Just about anything that you could imagine for how you're cutting the hedge, and for storage, allows you to bring it around all the way to the back and store it up nice. This thing's awesome. It works great as far as moving it. I have not tried it, but from its looks and from the other Milwaukee Hedge trimmers, I'm assuming this guy is going to be awesome too. It's neat to use these things up first, get your first look at them, get a good feel of it. But realistically, outdoor power equipment comes down to longevity. So we keep saying that at the end of these videos, but we're gonna make an effort to continue throughout the summer to come back to this. How's it holding up after half the summer? How's it compared to the new Stihl units that are out? How's it compared to the Ego unit? We're gonna do all that stuff with this, give you those answers. So if you're looking at this system, you might wanna just dive in. I would not hold anyone back. I guess what I look at is what you need. It is a little bit pricey depending on what you look at. I've looked at different combinations. I believe this power head and pole saw with a 9-amp-hour battery was $400. It's probably worth it for what you're paying. It all depends on what you need and how much you want to spend. Now, a lot of guys are gonna say, you know, for $400 I can get a bicycle handle Stihl gas powered unit, maybe, and you're gonna have the noise, and you're not gonna get the high-end unit for that. But price wise, if you're in the Milwaukee line, this is a must-have to me. I wouldn't want to go without it just because I can grab a battery and go. So I think that's important to me, and the power is important. They nailed it with it. The speed, how it starts up, gets to full speed immediately is 100% true. The only thing I wish I had, if I could change one thing, would be a little bit more of a variable speed trigger. I think Milwaukee hit it with the trigger trying to give you the feeling of power right away. They just didn't give the finesse. If you're used to having a lot of RPM variations in gas, it doesn't feel like you have that same sort of variation in the trigger. It's very quick, and you have what feels like from 50% to 100% rather than from idle to 100%. I can easily get past that. Trust me, for the use, just a little bit, maybe 10 minutes of getting used to it. That's all it took. Other than that, this thing rocks. So if you have any comments, if you already own this, it's been out for a while, so leave them in the description. I'd like to hear that. As always, we appreciate your time. We'll ask you to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Have a great day.